episode of the Strength Forward podcast. Today, we have on a special guest, another guest I met from social media. Seems like I'm meeting everyone from social media these days. His name is Glenn. He is based in the UK. He is a kettlebell and mace, sandbag, dumbbell specialist. Is that correct? Am I missing anything? Well, so I reached out to Glenn because I've been watching his content for a while, and he delivers really great content, very educational content on how to move the body effectively, especially with kettlebells, how to train efficiently, all the stuff. I've gleaned a lot of wisdom just from watching this stuff, so I think you guys will get a lot just listening to this. But I won't talk anymore. Glenn, I'd love for you to tell us just a little bit about yourself, your background, how you got into this whole thing, and your passion for it, as much or as little as you'd like. Yeah, man, 100%. Love that. Yeah, yeah, I love that. Yeah, yeah, hmm, yeah. No, I love it, dude. I like that you said they didn't force it on you. It was just an example because I think that's a really important delineation to make. You know, like, because growing up for me, it was very similar. Like where my parents were just they were in the bodybuilding era, so they were just huge with the bodybuilding, like, but with nutrition and working out and the whole thing. But people growing up thought that it was like forced on me, and that's why I loved it. But it really wasn't. It was like I remember eating ice cream as a kid, and it wasn't like, oh, I don't eat ice cream. Like we would go and do stuff, but it like naturally just became a part of me, and I was like, oh man, like I just really enjoy this, and it grew into it. So I think it's cool that you mentioned that. Um, So what sports did you play growing up? You mentioned like martial arts and you kind of just did everything. Like was there one that in particular? Yeah. Yep. Really? Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Dude, rugby seems intense. Rugby, I've never played it. I've watched it. I had some friends who were from South Africa. When I lived back in Charlotte, they're from South Africa, and so they were really big with playing rugby. So I went and watched. It's like, dude, this looks amazing. It seemed incredible. Oh, really? What part of South Africa? Nice. Okay, so we went to so I went to Cape Town, and man, Cape Town was crazy beautiful. Oh wow, yeah, you're spread out, dude. That's so cool. Yeah, rugby seems really like it would be a really fun sport to get into. You know, you can tell me if I'm wrong. Isn't it true that like there are less concussions in rugby than actual football because you don't? Yeah, go figure. If you don't use your head. Okay. Yeah. Right. Not at all. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah. I've heard the soccer stands are absolutely insane. Just too chaotic. Yeah, I like that. No, that's cool. That is really cool. So, okay, I think it's a good segue into your training background. I'm assuming, I'd love for you to tell me, but I'm assuming that that led you into your first bit of like weightlifting. Like you really wanted to train, you wanted to get stronger. Like that's the story I have in my head. So, what did that look like for you? Like what did your training background look like and your experience in gaining knowledge? Okay. Really? Really? Huh. Like, so not even in high school, like you don't have like class in high school where you go to like a weightlifting class, nothing? Interesting. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Mhm. Wow, wow, wow. Hmm. Oh, yeah. It's great. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So two things. One, first, you sound like a very dangerous human being. You spent years doing martial arts. That's funny. But two, so I want to go back to you asking questions in the gym because I think that is something that not everyone does so naturally, right? Especially as dudes. I think it's more common with dudes, like the ego of like, oh, I'll figure it out on my own or whatever. It's very uncommon to just be like, hey, can you help me? And especially at such a young age. So did anybody teach you that, or was that just like it just made sense? You're like, hey, this guy's ahead of me. I'm gonna ask him. Mm, yeah. That's hilarious. Mm, yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Yep. No, that's it. That's it. 1,000%. Yeah. There. Yes. 1,000%. Yeah. That's. I'm really glad you said that because it's so true, dude. Like I have so many thoughts, but the biohacking community. So I listen to a lot of podcasts of the biohacking community, and I think it's really great. But I've come to realize, to your point, that it can make people feel overwhelmed, a little bit confused, where it's like, man, before we even focus on any of that, And there's a place for it. Sure, there's a place for red light therapy and timing this and what intermittent fasting that or whatever. There's a place for it. But before we even get there, let's just do this the bare minimum first. Like, just do the bare minimum. Like, just lift some weights, be consistent, progressively overload. Like, just do that. Then we'll go from there. Yeah. Yep. Mm, yep. Hmm. Yeah. 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 100%. Yeah, that's one thing I was talking to someone recently about, like like cold therapy, taking ice baths. There's a huge there's the research that's come out where it's like you should ice bath before you work out, not after, because it gets rid of the inflammation and you need that for the whatever. And it's like that is such like that matters for an elite world class athlete who's going for the tiniest marginal percentages. That's who that matters for. For the normal person, if you get in an ice bath, and even if you get in only for a minute and not 3 minutes, like that's a win. You did it. Now let's progressively overload that over time. And if you want to switch it to before and you have the means for it, sure, do it. But don't make that like the thing of like, oh, I got to do it before, not after. It's like, just do it. Like, no, 100%. I want to go back to you in the gym and you creating a culture. I love that you said that, creating a culture of like not having the guarded secrets, because I've noticed that in the gym too. And quite honestly, I've struggled with that, not doing what you do, where like maybe helping someone who I could help and just, letting my guard down. Um, One, because I've always been hesitant. Like, are people going to accept it? Like, am I going to be, would I be the guy that were like, okay, yeah, shut up, I don't really want it, or would they be really open to it and be like, hey, thank you, like, this is really helpful. What I kind of want you to elaborate a little bit more on that. Like, are people pretty open to it and receptive, and do they enjoy it? Mm, yep. 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 Mhm. Yeah. 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 Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. No, that's so cool. That's actually really helpful. That's a very good practical thing to use. Um, because yeah, to your point, and then I want to ask you about training, but to your point, everyone in the gym, everyone there is usually really friendly, and most people are nervous and they're looking around at other people looking at them, and they're thinking, well, I don't want to look stupid and this that. Like I find that to be so common, unless it's someone like you or I, where it's like we're really experienced and like I could navigate through a gym in an instant and like no hesitations, put a workout to like no problems. Unless you're one of those people, most people are like kind of intimidated, and so they want to feel invited. They want to feel less scary in this place where they're trying to get their health together and they're dealing with all these things in their head. So like I think it's really cool that you mentioned that, and I think it's important. That's something actually I want to challenge myself to is creating a better environment when I'm there. You've inspired that. So, and just move on. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Wow, that's really cool. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, that's cool. Wow, that's really awesome, man. That's really inspiring. Um, wow. Yeah, that's awesome. Um, hold on, I'm looking at something. Okay, so with your training background, I definitely want to move into your work with kettlebells, but what was your work with barbells? Like, how long did you work with barbells? Like your bodybuilding phase, and did you do any Olympic lifting or power lift like that traditional stuff too, or was it more was it that with the aesthetics? Like, what did that background look like? Hmm. 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 Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, wow. Yeah, very cool. Bro. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Same. Yep. Yep. Got it. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Yep. No, yeah. I've noticed too, like even for myself, to your point of when you're doing the big lifts, the squat, the dead, the bench, or any form of pressing, man, it's effective. It's so effective, and I am a believer in it. But I've noticed I have to add in all the work that you're mentioning as like almost like I go harder on that than I do the main lifts. Like I'll hit my percentages every now and then, maybe max out. But I really enjoy the dumbbell kettlebell work, accessory work, like the single leg, the unilateral, the kettlebell swings, the snatches, things like that. You just feel so athletic. You feel so healthy. You feel strong. And it is way less intimidating for people than like, oh, I'm gonna use this barbell and I gotta figure out how like, it's far less intimidating. um I've seen it to be really successful for the general population, for sure, right? um yeah, yeah. So what does your training look like now? Like give me an example of like how you split up your week, and what that process looks like. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I like that. Mhm. Oh, yeah. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, you just go. Yeah, no, dude, that's I've had plenty of those days. Well, very very similar. So I'm still I say this hesitantly because my mindset's shifted like literally over the past week, but I'm still wanting to compete in CrossFit. So that's my biggest background is I've competed in CrossFit. Um, did that for years. I think that's why I'm still in love with the barbell. I just would love, I just, I like snatching and cleaning, doing that. Mine's very similar where it's like a Monday is a lower, right? So, but it's like I start with the power work, which would be like cleans with some sort of plyometric. Then I go into like your squatting, and then I'll do a bunch of accessory afterwards, and then maybe some conditioning, just seeing how I'm feeling or based on time. Tuesday's upper, still starting with power, so maybe like a push press, and then into like your traditional pressing, accessory work, that kind of thing. Wednesday's a twist day, so very similar to you. It's usually a dude. I love mixing in twisting work, side to side work. So I'll combine it with a pull. So if I'm deadlifting, so I might be deadlift, and I'll superset with some sort of like either lateral jump or like a windmill or something like that. Rotational deadlift. Like I just love that kind of work. Thursday's rest day. Friday's back to lower, so power and lower again. Maybe I'll snatch, and then Saturday is like a long aerobic day mixed with upper afterwards. So I go long run or long row or something like that, intervals. That's usually the structure I like to follow. Um, yeah, so my the way I like to do it is I try to, and this is where it gets a little challenging to like explain to people if you don't have like a training background, but I just try to think about, okay, what twisting movement is going to supplement my lifting but also like not take away from it in the moment, right? So like deadlifting is it's very brace intensive, so I find that if I'm supplementing with windmills, like I'm getting a good duo there that's not too intense but is also very supplemental, and I keep deadlifts a little bit lighter and I'm getting a lot out of it. But that's kind of how my mindset is like what's going to aid this but not take away from it at the same time. um and how I modulate intensity is pretty subjective. It's like, how do I feel today? like like that kind of thing. I don't know if you have a protocol that you use with your clients, but mine's like if I feel good, I'm going after it. If I don't, I'm gonna do something, but I'm gonna keep it lighter. And to your point, it's like just doing something and being consistent is better than doing nothing. Like you'll once you recover, you'll get the benefits out of it from the training. It's like that relative intensity thing. Like maybe your 100% one day is amazing, and your 100% another day is like really your 70%, but you're still doing it. You know? 1,000%. Yep. Yes. Yeah. My so there's a coach that I never worked with, but he was a part of the group that I was with. So I worked with a group called Training Think Tank for a while. But he was a coach. His name's Kyle Ruth. I actually just did a podcast with him. He 39 as well, just PR'd his clean at 380. 380 at 39. And it was blown away, but it was to your point where it's like you don't have to rush your strength. Like you don't have to rush getting to a number if you want to and whatever, but you really don't have to. You just need to be consistent, take care of yourself, stay healthy, focus on the fundamentals, and you never know, at 39, you could go in there and PR and be like, wow, I'm still getting better and I'm healthy and I feel good. This is awesome. So, like, I found that to be super encouraging. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, dude. I mean, I say only, but I'm 32 now. And I mean, I've noticed a lot of even my friends are just, they're falling off. Like, it's very hard. Yeah, I love that. That's a, that's very similar to, there's a, so having two workouts, I heard this as well. Someone said, have two workout times. Like give yourself, the optimal time, like whether it's a morning or whatever. And if you miss it, have another one scheduled in case you need to fall into it. And that way you give yourself 14 opportunities per week if you're working out 7 days a week rather than only seven. It's like, okay, that's really good. Yeah, man, man, that is so, yeah, yeah. No, that's so cool. That's a very I love that because that is so practical. That's a very practical thing for people to take away and apply to their life like today. Like come up with plan A, plan B. There you go. Now you are way more optimized to see success. That's awesome. Also, those names are really cool. Occam's Razor and Quick Steel. Those are sick names. That's really cool. Jeez. Oh, that's great. Yeah, Quick Steel. That that's cool. I like that. Wow, very creative. Dang. Almost like you chat GPT'd it. No, 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 no. Mm, I know. That's what's so funny. Now people are just using Chat GPT for everything. You're like, come up with blah 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 blah, whatever. I've tried it with workouts. I'm like, let's just see what it can come up with. And I don't know if you've tried it, but I wasn't a fan. I was like, man, it's not quite there yet. It's too broad. It's not creative. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. No, also sorry if you can hear the rooster. He loves to. I don't know if you can or not, but he loves to go off in the middle of podcasts. It's hilarious. um, no, that's there he goes. Um, that's really cool. I actually did not realize that with ChatGPT. That's a very good prompt. Again, something very practical for people if you want to try that. I love that. I might try that today and just see what it says. And how did you come up with that? Dude, well, it honestly ties into you being willing to ask questions when you were younger, and so maybe it just made sense. You're like, "Well, I asked questions to figure things out, maybe it should ask me questions to figure things out." No, that's that honestly is genius. Um, okay, so we're getting closer now. I want to be respectful of your time, but I do wanna ask you this about your social media and growing your business. What has that journey been like? You know, like when you first got into it, what was your I guess what was your expectation? What was your goal? And maybe kind of where has it led you over these years? I mean, how long have you been doing social media? Okay. Right. But since COVID, you've been attacking it with like business purposes. Right. Mm. Yep. Right. Yeah. Mm. Oh yeah. Right. Yep. Yeah. Hmm. Dude. Yeah. Yep. That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was my next question was, have you, has it become, because like you have a school community, correct? You have a school community, right? Yeah. Have you found success? This is me honestly asking for myself because I'm running a business as well. Have you found success with running the school community? Like, has it turned into a potential like full-time income from that? Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. 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 Right. Yeah. Oh, wow. Man, that's yeah. Very cool. Yep. No, that's so cool, man. Yeah. Yeah, I was just it's definitely grown. I hit so similar to you where you had an experience where like where Joe Rogan liked it. Mine was similar, just in a different way, where I just had a video go viral, and like that's what catapulted my followers because I was posting like 3 times a day for like 5 months, just like every day, post, 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 and then finally one one went viral, and I think because I had a lot of content there, it was like, okay, this guy is actually worth following. There's some value here, so it ended up, blowing it up. But now, very similar to you, I'm trying to niche down, right, and really like tighten it up of like it's a select person, a select avatar. Just really trying to gear the content toward that, which is a whole nother just like ball of wax. Like it's so much with the social media thing and marketing and selling and more than I ever realized. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's awesome. Wow. The tables have turned. No, that's great, man. Well, let me say this to you to encourage you, man. I think you do have a hook. Like you look great. Like I've seen you with your shirt off in your videos. Like you look great, dude. Like when it pops up on someone's feed, they're gonna be like, all right, this dude knows what he's talking about. Like he's lifting, he's strong, he's shredded. Like he's doing something right. So for sure, like it's there's a lot of value there. So just to give you some encouragement, man. That's dude, I've had people say that on mine. Like I've had two polar extremes. Like one, like on the video I went viral, they were like, his physique's not even that great. Why would I listen to this guy? And then, but other people chimed in. They were like, dude, what are you talking about? Like he has a great physique. So I was like, okay, well, I don't know how to feel about this. And then another one was like, dude, it was so it was actually dude, I made it in like 30 seconds and I like slapped it together and it blew up. It said it was like POV, like point of view, how you used to do core in your 20s and it was like me doing V-ups verse until you figured out what actually works. And the point of it was like core is so much more than just like crunches and sit-ups. And so the video was like me doing rotational deadlifts, some windmills, some carries, just different things. Some standing marches with the kettlebell beside you, just like different core work. And dude, it just like it blew up. Like every time I refreshed my feed, it was like 100 new followers, 100 new followers, comments, comments, comments. 5 million something. Like it went. I mean, it went crazy. And then a second one went viral. I have it pinned at the top of my page. It was like a voiceover that I actually stole from someone else's Instagram, and it was like, I want to be very clear about something. I am not training to be jacked. I'm training to beat my kid. And for whatever reason, that video went viral. I was like, okay, cool. So, but gosh, I forget what I was saying before that. I had a second person comment, and they were like, yeah, good physique. Hope he's natural. I was like, great. Here come the steroid allegations. But I was like, honestly, I'll take it as a compliment because I'm natural. So thank you. I didn't even. What in the world? Wow. Yeah, that's just like understanding how to interact with people 101. Like you don't do that. Even if you have that thought, you don't do that. Like meet the person, have a conversation. Then if you want to ask them down the road when it's appropriate, maybe. But that's crazy. Like it's just that's crazy. I would have been like, dude, get out of here. Um, Oh, that's good. You're like, that's my boy. Wow. Yeah. Dude, that was I couldn't have done a better ending to a podcast. That was beautiful. Seriously. That's agreed 100%. Um, dude, again, thank you for your time. Really, thank you for your time. I know you're busy. Yeah, dude. If I would love to do it. So I'm in Georgia, just north of Atlanta. Yeah, so I know where it is. I've never been there. Well, dude, if you ever are here in Georgia, and if I ever go back to London, because I've been to London before, we got to get up and do some training. We got to do something, put some content together, train hard, whatever. And I'd love to bring you back on in the future to talk about fatherhood because you're a dad, and I mean, that's a whole nother ball of wax, and like being a role model and growing as a person, the whole thing. And I'm sure you have a uh, ton of things you could share with people, and I'd love to bring you on for that if you'd be willing. Cool. Well, dude, enjoy the rest of your day. Um, I'm about to go get a workout in. This is great. Um, let's stay connected. Where can people find you on social media so if they want to reach out? No, that's really cool. Yeah, and I'll put a link in the description to your Instagram page if anybody wants to reach out and shoot you a message. So, all right, dude. Enjoy the rest of your day, you guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, love you guys. Keep moving forward as always. Glenn, till next time, man. Boom. All right, dude.